The apple tree behind me there is over 200 years old. I didn't realise that apple trees could grow to be that age. I know that because there was a guy here a couple of years ago, and his father used to grow apples and he used to sell them to shops, and he knew everything about apples and orchards. And he said, you don't see those kind of trees anymore because modern apple trees are quite small and produce a large amount of fruit in a very, very quick time. The house I live in is over 200 years old too, so I assume that the guy who built the house planted the apple tree. Now, I don't know how long it takes apple trees to reach maturity. I don't know how many years that apple tree had to be old before it produced its first apple. So I don't know whether the guy who planted that tree ever lived to see the fruit of that tree, or ever lived to enjoy that tree. Whether he planted from a seedling or was it was just a little sapling, I don't know. But what I do know is that today in 2013, on this beautiful summer's evening, I'm enjoying that apple tree, just to look at it. There's no apples on it yet, it's only summer, and in autumn there's loads of apples, there's lovely cooking apples on it. But I'm enjoying being out here in my back garden, looking at that tree. And it got me thinking that if we plant the seeds of success now, it may be a little while before we see them, it may be a long time before we see them, but eventually they blossom. They grow. Now, the video blogging thing that I'm doing can grow very, very quickly. And what I'm doing is I'm planting a seed. I'm nourishing it through education, training myself how to do search engine optimization. All new to me, HTML, all of that kind of stuff. I have somebody, usually a guy called Owen, who looks after my website, brilliant chap, and I didn't have to do any of that, and I didn't take much of an interest in it. But now I am interested in it because I can see where it will bring me. Now, if you plant the seeds of success, they will grow. It's just a matter of time. It's how much you nurture the growth. Are you currently doing what you want to do? Are you, the job, your profession that you're in, will that give you everything that you want out of life? If not, isn't it lunacy to stay doing the same thing? I made a courageous decision many years ago. I've made a lot of decisions, most of which I've been criticised for. But I made a courageous decision to leave the post office. I worked in the post office for 23 years. It was, as my father would say, it was a good pensionable job, a government job. And it was lunacy to leave it to become self-employed. But I wasn't fulfilled doing that. It gave me a wage every week. I was sure of my money. I was sure of when I was getting my holidays in summer. And I was sure that I'd retire in due course with a gold watch and a pension. But life to me is much more than all of those things. Life to me is about happiness. And so often, and particularly in my case, I was putting off happiness. I was saying, I'll be happy when. Terms and conditions applied. There was small print. It doesn't have to be that way. You can have happiness now. One of the things that I've discovered in discussions with various people is that maybe especially in Ireland, we view materialism and spiritualism as two distinct things. They're polar opposites. But really, when you think about it, they're not. I was listening to a guy on the internet the other day, and he was talking about the way at Christmas, he lives in Florida, so it was bright and sunny, perhaps like this. He was able to go down to his local pharmacy. There was a guy outside with a bucket collecting for something, and he put $100 in the bucket, and the guy was going to give him some change back, and he said, no, it's okay. I make a shitload of money. It's okay. It's cool. And I thought, isn't it wonderful to be able to do wonderful things like that with your money? If you have the money. If you haven't got the money, you can't do those things. So money is an expression, it's an energy, it's an expression of who it is that you are, and it magnifies who you are. And also, in the creation of wealth, you get to grow as a person, get to grow as an individual, and you get to blossom, and you get to prosper. So that's what I'm doing. I don't know whether I'll ever live to be 200 years old. I probably won't, to be like that apple tree. I don't know whether somebody will be enjoying me when I'm 200 years. I'll probably be, a specimen in a jar somewhere. I don't know. But for the time that I have left on this earth, I'm going to maximize that time. I'm going to use that time to be happy. Happy as I am, but maybe not content with the life that I have at the moment because there's much more to do. And I'm making a distinction between happiness and contentment. Lack of contentment urges me on to create more happiness in my life. And that's what I'm doing through changing my financial situation through video blogging. If you'd like to know more about this, click on the link that accompanies this video. I'm Paul Gill. Talk to you soon.